This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Palace Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
Want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
Yes, indeed. You know it. It's the Cult of Personality. It's Living Color. And I am Ralph Williams here, your host for the Saturday Sports Show. And my guests today are Pensman Sports and Brian Pettit from the Tiger Stripes Media. And we are here every single Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And just some programming change and announcements coming up shortly. And there's Pensman. Please make sure you subscribe, like and subscribe to Pensman, and also to Brian with Tiger Stripes Media. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to Ralph Williams RW Media Productions. And don't forget my website, www.rwmediaproductions.com. And this program, as always, is brought to you by RW Media Productions. All right. Also, we are in the MATA Heating and Air Conditioning Studios, 724-201-0500. MATA Heating and Air Conditioning. You ought to call MATA. Call them today. Get your furnace taken care of. The winter, the fall is coming. Make sure you have everything you need for your air conditioning, and also wrapping up your air conditioner for the summer. Mike Dotson Realty, we're also sponsored by in Ocean City, Maryland, area code 410-596-1681, Mike Dotson Realty. All right, guys, welcome to the program. It's great to be here with you this morning. As always, those of you who are not aware and haven't been watching my shows because you're probably wrapping up vacations, kids getting ready to go back to school, the new work season's getting ready to start, school season, the whole thing. Reason why I'm wearing these sunglasses, and I reiterate, is because I have serious cataract issues with my eyes, and I have to wear these prescription sunglasses until I get my surgery on my eyes. There will be no Saturday Sports Show on September 20th because I will be in Pittsburgh to consult with Tiger Stripes Media. Good morning. And Christopher Cole. Hey, Christopher, my man. All right, a fellow handicapper. How are you today? It's great to have you on participating in the show. Christopher also participates in Amped Up Sports shows, Peter Blake, and some other ones as well. So I want to thank Christopher for being part of the program. But anyway, getting back to this, I have to go for consultation with a surgeon up in Pittsburgh at UPMC Medical Center, one of the best in the world. I'm going to throw a quick shout out to them, but they don't pay me, so I'm not going to go any further than to say that they're some of the best medical people in the world, okay, at UPMC in Pittsburgh. So I'll be going back to the Berg, and I will be there till the 25th. So if you can find a way to get a hold of me and you want to meet up for lunch or you want to meet up for a selfie or something like that, we have, well, we're in Studio 10 here in Berlin, Maryland, just outside Ocean City, Maryland. And so I just want to let everyone know what we're in Studio 10, and our studio sponsor, once again, Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, 724-2010-500, Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Let's get started, Pensman. How are you this morning? It's great to have you on board. Tell everybody about yourself and how they can get a hold of you, and we'll get started with the show here.
I'm doing good. I'm just woke up and took care of some stuff this morning, but I'm good. You can get me on YouTube. You can get me on Twitch at Pensman Sports 07, and you can find me on X at Pensman Sports.
All right, Brian Pettit from the Tiger Stripes Media. Brian, how are you today? Thank you. Thank you as well for being part of the program.
Well, thank you, Ralph, for letting me in. You can find me on Tiger Stripes Media on X now. Also, we're live on there now. And also, you can find me at YouTube at Tiger Stripes Media and all the other ones. So I just want to tell everybody happy Saturday, and it's another football game day. So
yes, it is, and we're going to talk about some. I got some pick'em games that we can get into, some real important ones, and we're also going to talk about the college football teams in our area, are the ones that we follow. Pensman follows Michigan, Brian follows Clemson, and I follow the University of Pittsburgh. But we'll be talking about all kinds of other stuff. And I just want to let those of you know, part of the comments section, Pensman is my monitor. And he will let me know which ones to pop up and which ones not to pop up. And he controls who says and does what. Okay? So I just want to let everyone know that so you are aware. So please keep the wax out your ears. Please pay attention to what I'm saying so that you understand what I'm saying. All right? Because I know a lot of you out there, and whose names I'm not going to mention, have what's called selective hearing. Okay? So, all right, guys, let's get started. Pensman, I know you're New York Yankees. You sent me something about Aaron Judge or something, or you did a short on Aaron Judge. What's going on with him?
Well, he finally got on right field last night. So as of July, he returned last night. He said his arm's fine. He said he's good. In the bottom of the first inning, there was a fly ball that went to his direction, but he didn't throw it home. He threw it to Jazz, the cutoff man. And afterwards, he said, I wouldn't be out there if I couldn't throw it home, and he just avoided the question. So I don't know what's really going on with him. I think he's just bypassing. I think he's just babying the arm until it gets fully healthy.
All right. Brian, do you have any baseball stuff you want to talk about real quick before we move on?
Not really. I mean, I wish the Cubs would actually learn how to hit again because they're going down and they're going downhill again. It's September, so, a lot of people not too happy with what the Cubs are doing. I mean, they look good in July and June, but they've hit the tank now. So, it is what it is. And Atlanta's still doing the same thing as they usually are, losing again. So,
All right. Okay, I want to thank Josh Dorr for his comments, and Pensman will let me know which ones to post up and which ones not to, and as well. So, thank you. Okay, let's get into our we're going to review some college football games, talk about a few from last week. As you know, last Saturday, University of Pittsburgh played Duquesne in the first game since 1933. And, guys, you're not going to believe this, but Duquesne is a good football team in the conference that they're in, which is the Northeast Conference. And I'm not knocking Duquesne. They're a very good football team. Been coached by Jerry Schmidt for almost 20 years. And they're a very good football team in the Northeast Conference. They played Pitt last week, and Pitt beat them 61-9. Okay? You're not going to believe this, but Acrisure Stadium actually drew 55,000 people. And I even heard at one point it was tickets, 64,000 tickets were sold. But here's the puzzling part about all this, and that's attendance. Pitt has had issues with attendance for many years. When they moved to Heinz Field, which is now called Acrisure Stadium, a lot of the university people flipped out. Oh, I got to go to the north side, or whatever. And I told everybody, which is the truth, would you rather sit in a nice, comfortable seat at Acrisure Stadium and be able to park your car without having to fight for a parking spot in the Oakland section of the city of Pittsburgh, which is very difficult. I went to Pitt games at the old Pitt Stadium, You had to walk up this hill called Cardiac Hill to get to the games, which is now our basketball facility. All right. Okay. Many times my grandfather and I went to these games, and we used to park at the way bottom of the hill and have to walk all the way up Cardiac Hill to get to the games because parking was a bear up out in Oakland. There's no space for a stadium. So all you Pitt fans out there that continue to gripe about Acrisure Stadium, I'd rather sit in a comfortable seat there than sit on bleachers. I would rather be able to have good concession amenities than what would be going on there. Bathrooms are a lot cleaner, okay, than what they were at Pitt Stadium. I mean, I don't know what that means to most people, but, clean bathrooms mean a lot to a lot of people, okay? All right? I would rather have there, but for some strange reason, Pitt versus Duquesne last week, they had, I've heard 2 attendance figures very high. We'll see what they draw for Central Michigan today. Brian, let's talk real quick about attendance at these games. I know Michigan with Pensman, I know Michigan sells out all their games. I know Clemson pretty much sells out most of their games, but I don't understand what's going on in Pittsburgh with Pitt. I just don't get that. I mean, you sell out for Duquesne, practically sell out for Duquesne, but you can't draw against Central Michigan or whomever. I said this to Pitt fans. If you're going to go to that game, go to every game. All right. We'll start with you, Pensman. Go ahead, Michigan.
Huh.
I'm just annoyed because of this, but anyway, I'm gonna be on my best behavior. So the Michigan Wolverines, they sell out like 2-3 weeks in advance. So if you want tickets, you got to get them early. If you want to go to a November game, you got to get tickets now. The Michigan and Ohio State game is always big, is because you have to get them like right early. If they play Clemson, I'm just giving Clemson an illustration. You got to get that game in September. Pittsburgh is just a small school. It's just not – they're starting to grow, but they are starting to come out together, so we'll see what happens. Pittsburgh just needs to win a couple of division titles and then make the playoffs, and then we'll see if they actually get to where they are.
All right, Brian, Clemson. I know they sell their games out, right?
Yeah, they pretty well. They don't actually sell out. They actually they'll say they sell out for a big game. They'll sell out, but when you have like Troy today, they didn't sell out as much tickets as they did last week. And I think it's more or less with most of these colleges that actually sells out. It's not that they sell out; it's just that all the tickets are gone. But as a lot of stadiums, you can see like a lot of fans not there because it costs money. If you had a family of 4 or 5, it's a lot of money just for tickets now. It's like $100 or more just for one, just for one ticket a person. Then you got to pay for parking. Then you got to pay for all the food that's there. And I think that's what's drawing, less people to come in some of these games now. It wasn't like it used to be when it was actually fun, for kids and everything, because it's a long day. I mean, you start at tailgate. Let's say if it's a 12 o'clock start, you have to be there early, like at 5 o'clock in the morning, just to set up. You set your food up, and this is a long day of process. I mean, it's a whole day. It's from sun up to sundown almost. So and a college student needs to get out there and promote some of the stuff. So that's what my opinion is about the whole thing.
All right, you're watching the Saturday Sports Show. We're here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, also on the Kick Network and also on the Huddle Sports Network. And I want to thank Ken and Ken in the morning. They had me on Friday morning, and it's always a pleasure to go on with Ken and Ken in the morning on Huddle Sports Network, 11 a.m. Tune in because you never know when I might make an appearance on that show as well. So, and also Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, Jeremy Ballrick hosts on the Huddle Sports Network and also on his network. He hosts a football roundtable. I come on around, I'd say 9:45, maybe, perhaps 9:30, somewhere in there. And I'm on that show as well with Jeremy and the rest of them. Brian is on a bunch of shows with the Sports Nuts. I was on their show this past Tuesday night, and I want to thank them for having me on that program as well, and also our new working relationship with the Sports Nuts. I want to thank Brandon Keeler for that, and also we're on Pensman Sports. We're on his pages, and we're on Brian's Tiger Stripe Media pages as well. All right, guys, college football week number 2. Week number 1, I think all of us have egg on our face. Florida State won. We didn't expect that. We didn't expect Miami to beat Notre Dame. I didn't think Florida State was going to be able to beat Alabama. Brian, we'll start with you. We got egg on our face.
Huh. What was that again now? I didn't.
We got egg on our face because of the week when we had our picks last week. We said Alabama. I said Alabama was going to blow out Florida State, and then I also said that Notre Dame was going to beat Miami, and both of them ended up beating. But Notre Dame lost to Miami, and then Alabama lost to Florida State. So your thoughts on those games, and then Ohio State beating Texas 14-7. That was an interesting game as well. These are the 3 games we're going to preview right now, and then we'll get into this week's picks. We got some wrestling news we're going to talk about as well, so stay tuned for that. And a little bit of NFL news as well. We got games coming up tomorrow, so we got a lot to talk about this morning here on the Saturday Sports Show. And if we have time, we're going to get to top 5 stadiums banned by the NFL for the Super Bowl. How'd you like that one? So, all right, Brian, go ahead. We'll start with you. Your thoughts on those games, on those.
Last week when I was watching the Alabama game and the Florida State just looked like they just manhandled, Alabama. They hit them in the mouth, and Alabama couldn't do anything. It's one of those where, like an old school team just hit them, and I don't think that Alabama really showed anything other than, I'm going to be dismantled. So, yeah, and then in the Clemson game, also Clemson just sputtered. It is the first game for everybody. I think in 2 weeks we'll see what happens to the stuff like that. So, I think it's this week 2 of college football. We'll see more next week in the how it goes and everything.
All right, we got D-Law 77 here as well, and I want to acknowledge Blake. What's going on? He says thank you, Blake, and also Christopher Cole, and also D-Law 77 and Josh Dorr for participating as well. All right, go ahead, Pensman. Your thoughts on those 3 games?
The 3 games, the Clemson game, LSU beat Clemson, which was really surprising. And
yeah,
I have to give a shout out to Lee Corso. He's enjoying retirement right now. So, but he picked LSU. The Florida State game, I was blown away. Alabama did not come to play. I was surprised on that. So Alabama's usually a threat in the college football. So I'm just surprised. Clemson. I'm just surprised about everything. So
yeah, some surprising games on last week. I thought that was pretty interesting. Brian Pettit, go ahead.
And Penn State destroyed Nevada last week too.
Yeah, that was a good game. I saw that. Okay, go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Are you there, Brian? Hello.
Oh, my bad. My 3 games.
Brian.
Yeah. No, I was talking to my wife for a minute. No, hey Ralph, I already did mine like that. Because I just picked, like I talked about the Clemson.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
I'm sorry about that. I got a boardwalk hangover from last night.
Nothing's wrong with that.
No, not at all. That ocean air smells good, man. You wouldn't believe it. All right. Let's get into our own team's games real quick before we get started with our picks for this. I'm going to pick some certain games we can look at for college football this week. And I have a programming note that I want to talk to everybody about. We are possibly going to move this show. It'll stay here at this time slot. There's a possibility we might move it to Spreaker Radio. All right. I'm looking into that. I will play around with Spreaker, see what we can work with. Where this show will be aired on Spreaker Radio, will be uploaded on social media platforms, which means you can watch it on all of our social media platforms because I will upload it onto the social media platforms. But we might be going on Spreaker Radio. Okay? So I just want to let everyone know that as well. So just give everybody a little programming note. We're looking into that, and we're going to change the format of this show. On Saturdays, it's going to be called the Saturday College Football Special. We're going to talk about the games in college football, and then we're working on a Sunday show where it's going to be called College Wrap Up, where we're going to talk about the games from Saturday on Sunday as well. That's coming up, and I think we're going to look at October for that. So, but right now we're still the Saturday Sports Show. We're here at 10 a.m. with myself and Leo Haggerty. Leo's on assignment for Amped Up Sports, and he may join us next week. We will find out. It's a busy season with college football, so we'll find out where. And Leo's with Amped Up Sports. So, all right, let's get into our games from last week. I already spoke about Pitt versus Duquesne, Michigan. Go ahead, Pensman. Who'd they play? I forget who
I
they
did the
played last
Michigan
week.
game New Mexico.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
They played. Yeah, Brian and I did the game last week, and I was really impressed with Bryce Underwood. If you don't like him or think he's underrated, you might want to watch him because he put up some good numbers last week. He put up good numbers in high school. I like the running game. Our defense needs work. That's the only thing I have problems with. They should not have gotten New Mexico shouldn't have gotten that close. I was starting to get a little nervous towards the end there. I just asked Brian down there. I was starting to get a little nervous there towards the end of the game last week. So we'll see how they do against tonight in Oklahoma. I'll be streaming that game tonight at 7:30. So
all right.
Yep.
All right, that's going to be a really good game. Oklahoma's a pretty decent football team. They've always had a great defensive football team. Always Oklahoma. Yeah. So go ahead, Brian. Clemson, LSU. What happened this week?
What didn't happen? No, I think that there was a lot of problems with Cade Public last week. I've watched it one good time, and there was a lot of mistakes where Cade would actually roll out and miss receivers on an open pass. There was a couple of times where he didn't read it right, and it was just a debacle. I mean, this is what we're going to get in like week one because I feel like they need to be having a preseason or something like the NFL, get a scrimmage together. That way you can tell who's doing what and what. And that was this, Clemson shouldn't even been in that game the way it should have been because they made a lot of mistakes. I think the defense did a really good job, but offensively, and today that we just got word that Antonio Williams is out for the game against Troy. And also, I'm not going to say this, but years ago, when Dabo wasn't a coach or anything, it was under Tommy Bowden. Troy came to Clemson and actually beat Clemson years ago. So that could be, and then it started a debacle of Clemson going downhill from there. So this could actually be a turning game for Clemson. If they lose, Clemson will be 0-2. And you can think about not going to, anything this year if that happens. So I just want to see a better offensive style, and I want to see them change up the offense. And I'm just tired of them running the Clemson offense. I just want to see what Raleigh can do different than, because when he first came over to Clemson, they talked about him not running his offense, but the Clemson offense, which is plain vanilla. So that's my take on it.
All right. Yeah, it was an interesting game. And I told you earlier about how Pitt blew out Duquesne 61-9. Desmond Reed did his thing. Eli Holstein did his thing as a quarterback. We're going to find out what they're made of today. They play Central Michigan at home in Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. All right, let's get started with
Ralph.
these. Yes, good, Ben.
Can I talk about Arch Manning real quick?
Absolutely. He bombed out in that game against Ohio State. I got to give kudos to Matt Patricia, who put together a great defensive scheme. If this is Matt Patricia is a good defensive mind. Now, let me say this, okay? Matt Patricia showed you something last week against Arch Manning, and Arch Manning showed us nothing, okay? Except he was off target and everything else. But everyone's about Arch Manning's going to go to the Heisman. This is one game, folks. One game. Let's see what happens. Let's let the season roll along. Okay, he had one bad game. Everybody has a bad game. Move on. All right. So let's see what happens. Okay, he went up against a defense that's coached by Matt Patricia. All right. Go ahead, Pensman.
I thought that Arch Manning was the talk of the game day. If you watch game day, it's Arch Manning this, Arch Manning that. Will he be the next Peyton? Will he be the next Eli? Well, he did not show up. He hit, like you said, he was off target. And Matt Patricia showed up, and he played the best defensive game in his life. I guarantee it. But I was not happy about the performance I saw. 14-7 over the Ohio State and Texas game. Never thought that Ohio State would put up 14 numbers. The only thing that Texas has going is their defense. That's the only thing Texas has going for him. But we'll see what happens in week 2. But he's definitely not Heisman performer.
Okay, Brian, do you have any comments about the Ohio State game?
Yeah, I do. I was watching that first game, the Ohio State Texas game. When he threw that pass and he short, I said, "Uh-oh, this is going to be a long day for him." He looked like he was nervous, and also, I don't understand why he throws it. I think it's his thing, but he throws it sidearm, which is really weird. And I think that causes a lot of problems because if he's throwing it sidearm, you can't get a good read on the pass plays. You just can't. You throw it sidearm, so he can't get it actually up in the air. So he's got some things there going on with him. But we'll see how he does today,
All right, there's some real easy non-conference games for some of these teams today. All right, so let's take a look. I want to talk about the hold on, let me see what that game. Last week's game, Syracuse and Tennessee. I thought Syracuse would do a better job in this game, and they got blown out 45-26 practically. I thought, I was the one that sat here, and again, I got egg on my face because I messed up on Florida State, I messed up on Miami game, and then but I knew Ohio State was going to beat Texas, so at least I had that right. But this game here, I thought Syracuse would put up a better performance. They did not. And I thought that was a bad game as well. But, we'll go from there. All right, let's get started with our game picks for this week. All right, here we go. Indiana, Kurt Cignetti versus Kennesaw State. All right, we'll start with you, Pensman. Go ahead.
I got Indiana winning this game. Should be an easy game for Indiana.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kurt Cignetti, those of you who don't know, used to coach the Indiana University of Pennsylvania football team at one time, took them to some championships. His brother's Frank Cignetti, who's a former Pitt offensive coordinator and also has worked around in the NFL as well. So the Cignetti family's been around. Kurt just signed a brand new contract, I believe, and he's still with Indiana. So, and he also took James Madison to some championships and things like that. So Kurt Cignetti's a pretty decent, really good coach there. He's brought Indiana back to a little bit of prominence after years and years of being in a hole. All right, Brian, your thoughts, Indiana, Kennesaw State.
I'm actually going to go with Indiana. As much as I'd love to see Kennesaw State, I think I'm going to go with them. All
right. Okay. There could be some upsets this week. Like I always say, you never know what's going to happen in some of these games.
Hey, Ralph, on the Sports Nuts, I just sent him a text just a little bit ago. I got Liberty winning that game also. I got Liberty winning their game. today.
Who's Liberty playing? Go ahead.
Liberty is playing. Let me look for it a minute. Liberty is playing. Let me get my list up here.
Duquesne. No, I'm joking.
No. Liberty is playing. Jacksonville State.
Oh, Jacksonville State. That's Richie Rodriguez's old school. He used to coach there. Yeah. Now he's back in West Virginia. So.
But that would be a good game. I'm just gonna pick Liberty over that one because I think
I would take Liberty too. Liberty still got a good football team. All right, let's.
Isn't that Deion Sanders' old team?
No, Jackson State.
Jackson.
Oh, Jackson State. That's the one. Okay.
Yeah, Jacksonville State is Richie Rodriguez's old school. That was where he coached before he came back to West Virginia.
I wasn't sure if that was Deion's old team or not.
After the debacle in Michigan, he couldn't coach Michigan out of a paper bag, Richie Rodriguez. And then on top of that, he went to Arizona for a little while.
That was a disaster.
And then he went to Arizona. He did okay down in Arizona. Then he went to Jacksonville State, and now he's back with West Virginia. So
Hi, Ralph. Rodriguez.
Sports nuts are on here.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Good.
Oh, by the way, Ralph, also Rich Rodriguez was the offensive coordinator that was under Tommy Bowden years ago at Clemson.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that started with him, and then it went to, I forget his name now, but
Sports Nuts. There they are. How are you? All right. Sorry, Brian. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Chiming in. Blake, I want to tell you what's going on. There's no more. This is not the Sports Wrap Show anymore. It's called the Saturday Sports Show. The Sports Wrap went bye-byes when I dissolved myself with a certain individual, and it was his idea to have that show, that name. So he took his name, and now he's doing something with it. I don't know what it is, and I don't care. All right. So thank you. So just to address that comment. All right. Okay, let's get into the next one here. Kent State versus Texas Tech.
Thanks for checking in, Sports Nut. I appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Sports Nuts as well. All right, let's this is real quick here. Texas Tech, Kent State. I think Texas Tech's going to blow Kent State out. Kent State doesn't have a football team. They stink. Sometimes they go to some bowl. I think they went to a bowl game last year or something and got blown out. All right, Illinois. I love Illinois. I like them. Versus Duke. This is going to be an interesting game right here because you got a guy in there at Illinois. I believe it's Winningham. I think is their head coach there. I can't quite remember the name of the guy and he's brought Illinois back to some kind of prominence here. Duke has Manny Diaz, former Miami coach and former defensive coordinator with Penn State, coaching. That's two coaching decent coaches there against each other. Ryan, start with you. Duke, ACC versus the Illinois of the Big Ten.
I'm going Illinois. I'm just going to go Illinois. So
Illinois. Yeah. All right.
I'm
go ahead.
Illinois on that one.
All right. Go ahead, Pensman. Duke, Illinois.
I'm going with it. I'm going with Illinois. What you said is accurate. I don't know the coach, but he's turned that program around. So.
Okay. Now we have. Here we go. Baylor versus SMU. This is a interstate game that's used to be a rivalry at one time. This is ACC SMU versus Baylor. Baylor at one time had a really good football team. I don't know where they're at right now. I don't follow them very, very much. But SMU, I know about SMU because I saw what they did to Pitt last year. They ended up playing Penn State for the right to go to one of the championship games last year. I'm taking SMU in this game. I don't know about Baylor. Go ahead, Brian.
I'm going to take Baylor. I don't know much about the game, but I'm just going to take Baylor. I think Baylor can shock SMU today.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Upsets always happen. So, you never know in this game. So it is what it is as far as that goes. Okay, next. Or Pensman, go ahead with your pick.
I want to give a shout out to Sportsnut. The Sportsnuts channel, they were on last night, and I told them when they were doing their show last night. So if you want to tune
All
in
right,
their channel, go ahead and subscribe to their channel. But I told them last night they were doing the same game last night, and I picked Baylor. I told them Baylor, and I'm sticking to Baylor. So I think Baylor has just got a better run game, and I think their defense is going to hold MSU.
All right, here's a good one right here. You ready? Iowa versus Iowa State, in-state rivalry game.
Ooh.
All right, I love these kind of games. I'm taking. I like both coaches. Matt Campbell's done a good job at Iowa State, and then Iowa. Kurt Ferentz is still there. Yeah, he's like a Joe Paterno. He's going to be there forever. In 6 years, he'll probably die there. So, but Iowa State. Start with you, Pensman. Go ahead.
I think Iowa State's going to take it. I think what you said about Campbell, I think he's got. If he's anything like Dan Campbell, I think he's going to take Iowa State, and I think he's going to upset Iowa today.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same thing with Pensman on that one.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with Iowa State. I like Iowa. Iowa always has good defense, good running game. That kind of thing. But Iowa State has a better football team, I think. Florida International versus Penn State. We know where that game's going.
Yeah, we're going to.
Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, we know where that
on
one's
the count
going.
of 3. 1, 2, 3. Penn State.
Penn State. Nittany Lions.
No, I'm taking Florida International. I think they have a chance of beating Penn State at Penn State.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ralph's going on the deep end over here.
By 3 points. No, I'm just joking around.
Hey, Ralph, you could have used the Lee Corso's "Not So Fast."
Yeah, exactly. All right, next, Florida State versus East Texas A&M. I didn't even know there was an East Texas A&M. Oh my!
I'm gonna go Florida State. I'm gonna go.
I tell you what. After the game last week, I will never deny Florida State. I will not have egg on my face twice. That's not going to happen. Go ahead, Pensman. You taking Florida State? Pensman. Must be having trouble.
I'm going the other team. I'm not going with Florida State. Florida, you can't go with them right now. They're just too
East Texas A&M.
Out of place. They're trying to figure out what team they have.
Well, we saw it against Alabama. We know what team they have. Alabama's football team.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, Texas A&M, Utah State.
That's what I mean. You can't go with Florida State.
All right, Mike Elko is the head coach at Texas A&M.
I got Texas A&M on that.
Yeah, so do I. All right, go ahead, Brian. You too?
Yeah, Texas A&M. Yep.
All right, this will be a tough game for Ohio State, and I'm not saying this is going to be a really tough game. Grambling State. So,
I got a question on that one. Can Ohio State can they actually make it to 45 points? Can they score 45 points?
That's a good question. They might end up being a defensive football team this year. Yeah. After what I saw against Texas, you know what I mean? They could end up being a defensive football team this year. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I mean, defense wins football games. But, so, all right. Eastern Tennessee State versus Tennessee. That's some kind of in-rivalry game here. We know who's winning that game.
Yep.
I'm not even going to go there. Austin P versus Georgia. I'm taking Austin P. No, I'm just kidding. We know who's winning that game, right, guys? Does anybody have any objections to Georgia? I think we all agree Georgia's going to win that game. All right, Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin versus Kentucky. I'm taking Ole Miss.
I don't trust Kentucky. I really don't.
Kentucky's one of them hit and miss kind of teams. Kentucky, they're a hit and miss team. I call them. They haven't really been that good since Rich Brooks was their coach. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pensman. What'd you say?
I got Ole Miss on this game.
All right. How about Oklahoma State versus Oregon?
Go Ducks. Go.
Yeah,
Ducks.
I like Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State, but you know what? Oregon. We could see an upset though, but we'll see. All right, here we go, Brian.
As Gordon Bombay would say.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, this is you. Clemson versus Troy.
I'm
Go
going to
ahead,
say
Brian.
Clemson, but I said it's everybody said, oh, it's going to be a blowout. No, I think it's going to be a closer. I think it'll be a 10-point win for Clemson. I really do. I think Clemson will struggle.
So you have no faith in Clemson after the LSU?
No, not at all. After that, no. If they come out, I mean, their best receivers out for the game, but I think that this will be closer than what people think it will be. I think it'll be.
Let me ask you this question, Brian.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Okay.
Do you think it's time for Dabo Sweeney to step away? I'm not saying that to be rude, but let me say this: you got too much competition down there right now, and Clemson's really not in it anymore. Does Dabo Sweeney still have it? That's
the
my
problem
question.
is that, and I think this is what the whole entire. Remember when Nick Saban was going through his thing in Alabama and everything,
Right.
and he's like going, "Well, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this." I don't think Dabo has realized that you got to adapt to what's coming next. He hasn't adapted to that yet. I mean, he's got great coaching ability. I mean, look at the coaches down there. I just think that he needs to step back and say, what am I actually doing here instead of like other teams now? I mean, you remember his press conference, if they go to doing money, I'm going to leave. I just think, I'm a big Clemson fan, but I just believe that, they're not going to fire him unless it really goes south. But he needs to really do some thinking about, hey, if I'm going to get back to the state of like Georgia and some of these other teams, he needs to look in and adapting the new stuff that's in, he needs to run something different than what he usually does. That's just my opinion.
All right, let's get into the NFL now, because I think we've worn out our welcome with college football right now. There's too many games for us to go over anymore, and I want to squeeze in some NFL news. Chargers 27, Chiefs 21. I called the Chargers game.
Let's go.
So did Pensman, and we were right about that. And I want to let everyone know that a lot of times I'm right most of the time. There's a few times I'm wrong, but unlike others in the media, I will admit I was wrong. And there's been times I will show up here covering my face in embarrassment and shame because of something that I might have said that didn't work out. And that's why I have good integrity in the media. So because when I'm wrong, I'll come out and admit I'm wrong. All right. Chargers 27, KC 21, Philadelphia 24, Dallas 20. George Pickens at it again with his annex. Let it stay down in Dallas. You guys did a wonderful job with that game, Pensman, you and Brian. You guys are very good at what you're doing with this stuff, and you're getting a lot of views. That's the really good part about all this. You're getting a lot of views, and one of these days I'm going to join you guys, with this. But I got some medical issues and some things I'm still trying to ink out.
Just let us know when. Just let us know when, and we'll get you in it.
Fill in the cracks.
Yeah.
I've never done anything like that, but I would like to, because when I went to school, I had a course on play-by-play when I went to broadcasting school. Yeah. And they said I did a pretty good job with it. So, I got a really good grade on it, but we'll see.
Yeah, just let us know. Just let us know when you're available.
Yeah, just let us know.
So, yeah. All right. Well, go ahead. First, let's start with Dallas and Philly. Pensman, go ahead. Start with you. Go.
Okay. Like Ralph said, I did the game. I'm really, I usually make fun of the Cowboys, and I'm not going to do that this time. I'm very impressed with Dak Prescott, how he came out. It looked like the 2016 Prescott was back. He just needs to, and CeeDee Lamb, get your hands on the ball. and butter sticks don't work on that. I promise you, butter sticks do not work on hands. I tell you that right now. Yeah, it's for the pans only.
Yeah, what's he? Deontay Dropson.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Brian, go ahead. Your thoughts on that game?
My thoughts was when Dak came out, he was playing unreal. I mean, both of them were playing like they were playing in a Madden game. I mean, they were just running, and it's like, okay. But my two things is for both teams, you got to tackle. You know, if I showed an illustration for Philly, you know, with him running like that with both teams, you got to have a spy on the quarterback. Both of those teams really didn't have a spy on them. Dallas really didn't do anything defensively. They need to have a spy on the quarterback the whole entire time, and they never did it. That's why Jalen Hurts just ran all over him. You know.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
you got to have
Ryan,
a spy.
thank you for bringing that.
And you got.
Thank
to,
you, Brian, for pointing that out.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, you know, you got to make a circle, not a circle, but you got to make a box around the team.
Devin,
Tribal chief, my tribal chief.
Yeah, what's going on, Devin? How are you? Thank you for being part of the
tribal chief. So yeah, that's my point.
I want to thank Blake, D-Law77, Josh Dorr, everyone for participating in today's show as well. Thank you for watching as well. Those of you on Facebook and other platforms, I want to thank you for watching as well. And if you just tuned in, earlier I made an announcement. We're changing this show name starting in October. It's going to be called College Football Preview. We will be the Saturday college football show, and we're going to talk about the preview college games for the day. And then Sunday, we're going to be doing a show on Sunday. I haven't picked the time yet and date, depending on when myself, Pensman, and Brian can get together and do this. We're going to do what's called College Wrap-Up. We're going to talk about all the games. And then Sunday, 30 minutes prior or after the Steelers-Jets game, tune in for the post-game show with me and Pensman Sports, where we're going to be doing this post-game show, Steelers-Jets, this week. Guys, let's get into the Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs real fast, and then we'll get into our NFL games for this week for our teams. All right. First of all, I want to say that I picked the Chargers to win against Kansas City. Kansas City last year, those of you who forget, and I know they went to the Super Bowl, every game that they won last year was by 3 points or less, or 7 points. Every game was a dogfight for them. They didn't blow teams out. This year, I think they're going to get exposed. Okay? That's just my opinion on Kansas City. The game, what a game last night. I didn't watch it because I will watch the replay of it because I was having fun on the boardwalk here. I got to get my boardwalk time in before we got this car cruise coming next weekend with Kid Rock and Uncle Cracker coming in, and then the week after that we got this another rock festival coming in with Green Day and some other bands. And then in October we got this country festival coming, so I wanted to get my boardwalk time in on a Friday night before all them folks come in. So what Devin
Ralph,
say here? Yeah.
It sucks. I played the Chiefs defense in fantasy.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. I'm not a fantasy guy.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, Devin. I have the Eagles, but I'm gonna change that up next week.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And also, Devin, I hope you didn't pick Mahomes because I hope you didn't pick him. I hope you didn't pick him in your thing because
telling you, mark my words, I think Kansas City's going to get exposed this year. Travis Kelce's distracted with Taylor Swift. Mahomes is not going to be that. He's going to take a little step back, I think, this year. Kansas City might be exposed, and it showed last night against the Chargers. And
Kelce is going to change his background to Kelce/Swift on the back of his jersey.
Yeah,
seriously.
I know. Kansas City should be lucky. Kansas City should be lucky that Taylor Swift's involved in this now, because now Kansas City has a whole new set of an audience now for football games. Anything Taylor Swift does, like let's say, for instance, if Taylor Swift was to be dating, Aaron Rodgers, do you know how many tickets the Steelers would sell if that was happening? Do you realize how much money Kansas City's making? They should thank her. for all the money they're making. Because regardless if you like football or not, if you're a Swiftie, you're going to be watching every Kansas City game because Taylor Swift is there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, everyone. And now she's supposedly been asked to sing at the Super Bowl for 2026. And there's nothing wrong with that. Taylor Swift makes money. I've worked Taylor Swift concerts when they were at Acrisure Stadium. And let me tell you something. I know what her shows are all about. And I mean, it's crazy about that. So, you know.
Yinzer's
But
in
anyway.
here now.
Oh, okay, great. Let me see where he is here if I can find him.
Yeah, Yinzer's in here.
There we go. Got him right there. All right, that's my man, the Mad Yinzer. Thank you as well, man. We got some great audience this morning here, which is great. I'm really happy about. Our viewership has gone up, and we're doing a really good job. 3 of us here, and when Leo's here, we always welcome him to the show, and so we're going from there. But all right, let's move on to our NFL picks for our teams, the teams that we follow. All right. Steelers, Jets, Pensman, start with you. Go.
Depends on the offensive line. Pay attention to this. If the Steelers protect Aaron Rodgers, like Ben Roethlisberger said on his podcast show, that if they do, then it should be a cakewalk. But if they don't, Justin Fields is going to walk all over us. I have the Steelers winning 35-21. That's what I got.
All right, I got Brian. You go first. I'll go last. Go ahead.
Okay, I got the 49ers and the Seahawks. With
I
CMC
forgot to
being
ask you
hurt.
about that.
Yeah, with CMC being hurt, maybe he'll play, maybe we won't. It's 50-50. It's day by day. But I don't know what's going on. Well, this is game 1. I'm just gonna have to see what they do. I hope they win, but I think they'll be closer than what some people pick. But I just want to see what they do. What CMC is, who's going to step up to be that second tier running back.
Right. Well, I hate to say this, Brian. This is it at Seattle. I think Seattle's up and coming, and I'm interested to see what Sam Darnold's going to do here. Because here's the thing. Remember, he had a Cinderella season last year with Minnesota. Was it Kevin O'Connell's offense, or was it just the fact of the matter that you got lucky? And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Okay. And let me see what happens in Seattle. I'm interested to see what Sam Darnold does. They kicked Geno Smith to the curb. He's now with the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay. And with Pete Carroll. So, we're going to find out what happens here. I'm for some strange reason, I'm taking Seattle in this game because I think San Francisco, it's time for a change down there with Kyle Shanahan. I think, I think the luster's run out down there with them. So, but that's just my opinion on that. Pensman, go ahead with yours. Oh, you already said about the Steelers. Yeah. So, all right. Steelers, Jets.
I think the 49ers.
No, go ahead, Pensman, with the 49ers. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the 49ers are going to win, even though, CMC, I think they're going to come out. And I agree with you about Seattle coming up, but Sam Darnold, and they don't have that many wide receivers. They got Cooper Kupp, but come on now. With that, I think I think 49ers are going to take that game.
See, some wide receivers like Cooper Kupp, he was good down with the Rams because Stratford threw him the ball. He might be good with some quarterbacks, but we don't know what the chemistry is with other quarterbacks. You see? So with Sam Darnold now, we don't know what their chemistry is. We don't know, you know what I mean? So at least Brock Purdy knows what he has, you know what I mean? In some perspective.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Sam Darnold,
I think Sam
Go ahead.
I think Sam Darnold is a one-trick pony. He did horrible in New York. He was amazing in Minnesota. I think he was amazing in Minnesota, but Seattle, I think he's going back to the New York days. I just don't see him putting up the numbers they did in Minnesota. That's what I predict. I could be wrong, and like Ralph, I will admit when I'm wrong.
There you go. Pensman's following my footsteps there. See,
there you go.
See, this is what mentoring does to everybody. All right, Brian, go ahead.
Oh, By the way, talking about the NFL, how many teams that we've seen the last couple of weeks not play the starters? I mean, if you look back
Yes.
to
Yes.
this week,
Right.
you look at Patrick Mahomes last night. I don't even think he played the whole entire preseason, even that,
He
because
didn't.
a lot of
Yeah.
these people now that like Brock Purdy, he didn't play. How rusty are some of these guys are going to be playing their first game? And
Aaron Rodgers didn't play anything in the preseason. Aaron
how
Rodgers
rusty are they
didn't play
going
at
to be?
all.
You
Yeah.
know,
DK
I mean,
Metcalf didn't play at all.
yeah,
So, with the Steelers. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Brian. And the NFL, Roger Goodell, in his infinite wisdom, decided to cut back on the preseason games. And now I'm hearing coming up in the next couple of years, there could be one more regular season game added, and they're supposed to cut back the preseason to 2 games. So, how do you prepare your team for game action against other teams? So now they're having these scrimmages or these joint practices to go up against other teams.
yeah,
The Steelers did it with the Buccaneers, and other teams have done it. These joint practices. That is a way to see what you have, because the preseason games you can't rely on them, because you got to look at draft picks, rookies, undrafted draft picks, people that were bagging groceries like Kurt Warner was doing, and other people like Vince Papale, to come off the street if you have open tryouts, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Nothing against Vince Papale. I mean, it's a great story. I like Vince Papale because he's a friend of mine. Okay. And he's a friend of 2 friends of mine. Okay. And so I like Vince Papale. I just use that as an example. You know what I mean? They need to look at those kind of players. And they don't have the time. Pretty much, coaches pretty much know what they have. But what it does, Brian, is it jeopardizes, and everyone out here, it jeopardizes the new coaches who have just come in to start. And I said this on the Sports Nut Show, and I said this on Ken and Ken in the Morning, and I said this on the Roundtable, okay, when I was on this week, okay? All right? And I'll say it again. My interest in the NFL this year, the new coaches and the ones on eggshells. What's going to happen with those 2 areas there?
yeah,
All right. You got a bunch of new coaches. You got a couple that are in dumpster fires, and then you have another, or you have some other head coaches that probably will do pretty well. I'm interested to see what the former coordinators of Detroit, Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, do. Okay. All right. And Kellen Moore, I wouldn't have took that job if you paid me double down in New Orleans. I would never took that job. All right. And so what I'm saying is that's what I'm looking at this year. And preseason, to me, is kind of a joke. I mean, it really is, because you only got 3 games, and now they're going to cut it down to 2 if they add one more game to the regular season, because Roger Goodell in his infinite wisdom, okay, decided to do this. But what I like now is those joint practices. That is giving the experienced guys some kind of game action against another team, where you can't get it in preseason because you don't have enough time. You can't do enough preparation for it. It's not feasible. It's not workable. Okay? That's why teams come out flat. That's why I said the Steelers are going to win 17-7. I don't see a high-scoring game here, because the Steelers are going to be flat. Aaron Rodgers didn't play 1 snap in the preseason. Not that he needs to, but do you understand what I'm getting at? Andy Reid, I'm actually quite surprised at him, because he usually puts his starters in for every preseason game. He's known to do that. He has a reputation for that. There's a few other coaches that do it too. Okay? That's why their teams are not flat when they're in the first game.
yeah.
All right?
Well, see, back then, just 4 years ago, Ralph and Pinsman, do you remember when the coaches said, all right, I'm going to play a half for every time, we had preseason 4 games. Do you remember a couple of years ago when they had actually put in their starters for the first 4 games and say, all right, you play a half, the backups play a half? That's where you gauge it at. And then you can just say, hey, you can mix it up and go, okay, we're going to put some of the starters out there with some of the new rookies and do it that way. That way they can say, okay, well, this guy looks better with the rookies, mix it up sometimes. But you got to, with it being the first time NFL, you've got to. I know it's injury prone, but you just got to let the players play. Some, because you don't want to come out there and flat. I mean,
No,
what I'm saying?
exactly. Yes, exactly. And we had this debate. I had this debate all week on all the shows I was on. This debate goes on all the time. It's just like the NIL debate. It's like the transfer portal debate in college football. I'm tired of having that debate because until they structure it, I don't even want to talk about it. Okay?
Yeah.
Because the reason I say that is because I'm frustrated with college football. They ought to be ashamed of themselves for letting this stuff get out of control and not structuring it. Okay? Ashamed of themselves. College football was a good game until they had the transfer portal and the NIL, and these kids started making money. And then they started getting greedy, and then they started just worrying about the money and not worrying about the programs and everything else. All right. So,
Yeah.
that's my feeling on that. All right, guys. Final thoughts on sports, and we're going to get into a couple minutes some wrestling here. Last final thoughts, go ahead, Pensman, with you.
I just want a
Sports
good week. I want the Steelers to come out like they did in preseason. I don't want to take this lightly, but just come out. If you want to make the playoffs, if you want to make the divisional round, Ralph, you're tired of it. I'm tired of it. Brian, you're not a Steelers fan, but I'm sure you're tired of it. I'm tired of the one and done. All you Steelers fans out there that want to talk about winning season, grow the F up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And, everybody made a big issue, as you and I talked about, Pensman, many times, about the preseason. Oh, right. They lost to the Buccaneers by 3 points. Let's fire Mike Tomlin. Well, first of all, everybody who needs to stop drinking too much at the games, okay, and get your brain in order, Mike Tomlin's not going to get fired. That's not going to happen. The only way that's going to happen is if Art Rooney II steps away and lets his family run and the minority owners run that business, run that team, okay? That's number one. Number two, he has a contract for another 2 more years. When he reaches number 20, I think this is his last contract. That's my opinion. And I'll come out and admit I'm wrong.
28 winning seasons.
Okay, yeah. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. And I'll say this again and again and again. Bill Cowher once said, if you're not in this game to win the Super Bowl, you don't need to be in this game. Okay? That is what this is mediocrity. That is accepted by Steeler fans. That is again, I'm really surprised at the Steeler fans because they're accepting this mediocrity. Okay? Accepting it. And, Mike Tomlin's the greatest coach. I fight with everybody on all these other shows about how great Mike Tomlin is. Oh, we'll take Mike Tomlin. Good, goodbye. Take him. And I hope he goes and does what he needs to do. Okay? Or wherever he decides to go. I just don't want him with the Steelers anymore because he's done absolutely zero other than win the regular season games and has gone to the playoffs once and then lose and get blown out every year by the Kansas City Chiefs and your rival, the Baltimore Ravens. Okay? He has a bunch of yes men for coaches. He's had them for years. Okay? He will not let good coaches come in and be assistants because anybody that's smarter than Mike Tomlin will not hire them. So I want to let everyone in Steeler Nation know, and you can be as angry with me as you want. I don't care. All right? I'm going to say it this way again, and I'll say it one more time. If Mike Tomlin, before he steps away, goes to a Super Bowl, I will eat it. And what I mean by that is I will do every show naked. All right? I will do all my shows naked if Mike Tomlin and the Steelers go to the Super Bowl because I will guarantee you they will never make another Super Bowl with Mike Tomlin. I will guarantee that. And if they do, I will do all my shows naked. That's what I'm willing to do. Because I'm telling you, I'm right. And what's sad about all this, I haven't moved up because I'm right. Okay? And I haven't moved in the media any further than where I'm at right now. Okay? I should have been way up above in the media up in Pittsburgh. But you treated me like a redheaded stepchild. So guess what? You want to treat me like that? That's fine. But I'm going to continue to say what I'm going to say, and that's just what I'm saying there. That frustrates me more and more that Steeler fans put up with this. I'm done. Go
And
ahead,
Brian
guys.
and Brian Flores was the best assistant defense.
Yeah,
He's
he's
not a
smarter
yes
than Mike
man,
Tomlin.
but
He's smarter than Mike Tomlin.
yeah, that's what I mean. He
Art
wasn't,
Rooney
I
the
don't know
second
what to
one of
explain it. He's not. Yeah, I don't know how
You
to
know,
explain
you
it,
know,
but he's not
you
the.
know,
Yeah,
Mike Tomlin had the janitor fired because he didn't clean the toilet right. Okay, all right. Somebody went to Burger King because Mike Tomlin likes Burger King. Somebody went to Burger King and they didn't get his pickles on his Whopper, so he fired them. Okay, that's Mike Tomlin. Whatever anyone thinks, Mike Tomlin runs that team. Whatever you think, the whole aspect of it. All right. If somebody didn't wash his car right, they're fired. You understand what I'm getting at? I mean, that's
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people don't know that. So, but it frustrates me every time when I get Steeler fans that go on and on and on about how great Mike Tomlin is. I don't want to hear about how great Mike Tomlin. You want to be great? Win Super Bowls. Then you'll be great. Be like Andy Reid. All right, win Super Bowls. Be like Nick Sirianni. Win Super Bowls. Be like Bill Belichick. Win Super Bowls. Okay. All right. You had your opportunity. You had good assistant coaches, and you went and you brought in these yes men who have no idea what they're doing. None. Has any of Mike Tomlin's coaches, other than Bruce Arians, I'm talking about coaches that came up through his tree of the younger coaches that he's hired, has any of them become a head coach? They've all went down into college or high school or whatever after they left the Steelers, which means they have done nothing. All right.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to take your time up by doing that.
No, you're good. No, you're good. You're
You're
good.
good.
I had to do it. I have to do it because Pensman and I, we were frustrated every time because you Steeler fans accept this, and it's unacceptable.
Yep, and that's because you're right about it. That Ralph, there's a lot of things.
Almost human. He said it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Well, thank you, almost human. I appreciate that. Thank you. I do appreciate that because you know what? You know why almost human says this? Because he knows I'm right. Okay, and he knows I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it.
Brian Flores is the only player that was under Tomlin that still has an NFL job.
Yes,
really.
All the rest of Mike Tomlin's coaches, all went elsewhere. They went to college. They're coaching high school. They're coaching midget football, or I'm sorry, little people football. You're not allowed to say midget anymore. But anyway, who cares? Midget football, or prison league football or something, whatever. They're coaching something, but it's not in the NFL. It's not a head coach. Okay.
Matt Canada's probably up in CFL.
Bruce Arians, they fired Bruce Arians because he had a really good relationship with Ben Roethlisberger. Okay. Mike Tomlin didn't like that, so when he hired that moron Todd Haley, who couldn't coach his way out of a paper bag, and he's miserable and ignorant with everybody. He's coaching. It was coaching in the UFL. I don't even know if he still is. Okay, all right. He made an idiot of himself up in Kansas City. Okay, so hired him to be the offensive coordinator, and then you bring in Matt Canada, who again another one can't find his way out of a paper bag, and he only did that for a favor because Dino Tomlin, his son, needed to go to a college, and he recruited him at Maryland before he went to Boston College. And Dino Tomlin can't play football either. All right.
Can I say one more thing before we move on?
Go ahead.
We got Matt Canada. Matt Canada was in the booth. Okay. Kenny Pickett called the play. When Kenny Pickett was the quarterback, Matt Canada called the play. Kenny Pickett changed the play, and they got the game-winning touchdown. That was one of the key moments of Kenny Pickett did all. He did some good things. Not most of it was bad, but he made like 2 or 3 good plays. But Matt Canada's face, he was disgusted. He's like, why did he change that play? Why did he do that? Because he didn't do Matt Canada's play. He changed it up. Oh.
Okay, here. I'm going to give you guys an example real quick here before we move on. If you guys still have a few minutes, we'll get into wrestling here. I promised everybody we get into wrestling.
No, right? You're good. You're good.
No, you're good.
Remember when Randy Fichtner was our offensive coordinator? And remember Ben Roethlisberger?
That guy back?
Didn't like Fichtner's plays. What did he do? He drew up his own plays in the dirt.
Jeez.
At Heinz Field for some games. Okay? All right?
I remember
That's
that.
going to
I
happen
remember
this year
that.
with Aaron Rodgers. I can guarantee it because Arthur Smith has no idea what to do. All right. And if he lets Aaron Rodgers play the game, calls plays, let him manage it. He knows how. He's been there for too long. All right. If Arthur Smith and Mike Tomlin try to put handcuffs on Aaron Rodgers, you better forget about this season again. They did it with Trubisky. They did it with Kenny Pickett. They put handcuffs on those guys. Didn't let them play. Didn't let them do what they needed to do. So that's why the Steelers are the Pittsburgh Steelers as of right now. But we'll see what they do this year. So, all right. Final thoughts, Brian, on sports before we move into wrestling. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I had to get that off my chest.
I know. I mean, it
I think
frustrates.
I think I spent too much time yesterday at the boardwalk soaking up the ocean air.
No, this is the way it is for Pittsburgh. Y'all talk about Pittsburgh all the time. It goes around a lot more than what y'all think it is. I would like to see Pittsburgh do a little bit in the AFC. There'd be another team, but what you're saying is it's just heartbreaking that you have to go through this year and a year. You remember, I'm a Clemson fan, and I've gone through some troubles too before Dabo came with Tommy West, with Ken Hatfield, with Tommy Bowden. Those years were just terrible, And I know how you feel. They're like, oh, well, if you're going to have a winning record. I mean, you think about South Carolina too.
Right.
Yeah, you made a bowl game.
Yeah. What has South Carolina done? Yeah, they beat Clemson, but have they actually gone to a national championship or, something else? There's the struggles of, there's teams that are out there that just not to beat.
South Carolina, I think they're going to win this week.
Yeah.
I'm covering Furman games. So anyway, all right. So let's get into some wrestling here. I'm in a mood for this. I got to clear my head from this stuff. This thing I just did here. But I had to say what I had to say because you know what? I'm tired of it. You're just like Pence.
No, you're good. I'm tired of it too. I'm tired of people.
Sick of it. Tired of it. I don't want to hear it no more. Oh, and by the way, I want to say I ate at a restaurant last night called Jonah and the Whale down in Ocean City. I'm not going to discuss the restaurant, okay? But I will discuss that I ran into some folks from Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania, and now we have them watching and listening to RW Media Production shows. And they'll be checking out Pensman and Brian Pettit and also be checking out the Sports Nuts after they're done checking out my stuff. So I just want to let everyone know. I want to thank those gentlemen. It was a very nice conversation I had with them. Picked up some subscribers as well and followers. Again, my magic on the boardwalk. And whatnot, picking folks up. A lot of people from Pittsburgh do live down here in Ocean City. There is a bar down here that is a Steeler bar, and it's very interesting down here. I was quite surprised at how many people from Pittsburgh live down here. And then I went over to the Grand Hotel and spoke to an old bartender friend of mine that I met when I was here in March. It's called The Epic. Check The Epic out. They got pretty good food there as well. If you're in Ocean City, it's in the Grand Hotel. I went in there and checked out, said hello to my bartender buddy. He's from Pittsburgh. So a lot of folks down here, moving down here or whatever. So if you need real estate, call Mike Dotson Realty, 410-596-1681. All right, let's get started with wrestling, guys. I'm tired of talking sports right now. Last Sunday, we had the Clash in Paris. We saw what went down. We'll start with you, Brian. What was your thoughts on last Sunday's Clash in Paris? Go ahead.
Well, my thought, I didn't even watch it. So, I'm kind of biased. So, but no, the way it looks and the way it sounds like y'all were talking a while ago about what's her name coming back. I think she's going to make a big deal now. She's going to make big deal. They really haven't done anything, but watch out for her. I
called it.
Yep.
I said it. I said AJ Lee's coming back. Nobody believed me because I said it. I said CM Punk is going to bring his wife AJ Lee back. I said it this week on Wrestle Talk. I said it. I've said it many times on my other broadcasts. said out in public, and that AJ Lee was coming back. I knew it, especially when CM Punk on Monday Night Raw said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna take you down, and I'm gonna take your husband down." When he said that to Becky Lynch, which means I knew AJ Lee was coming. Either AJ Lee or, like, if you watched a SmackDown last night, CM Punk said, "Oh, I could have called Rhea Ripley. I could have called Bayley because he's friends with both of them. Okay,
Yeah.
he could have got one of them." I actually did think his backup plan was going to be that if his wife wasn't going to come and help him, that he was going to go with Rhea Ripley. And I said, "Oh, maybe Rhea will step up here and try to help him." But he got his wife, and now we have and this is the rumor I'm hearing now, it's probably going to be true, for the WrestlePalooza, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, or was one match that I believe is going to happen. The next match is going to be a mixed tag team, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee, CM Punk. We'll start with you, Brian. Go ahead. What do you think of these two matches? I believe these two matches will be at WrestlePalooza.
I think CM Punk will actually win, but you know how Seth Rollins is too. You know how
he always has a plan.
He's
like
always
me.
got a plan.
Yeah.
They've always got a plan, so you got to watch out for that. But it depends on what the storyline is. They write the stories prior to this. They already know what's in store, so we'll just see where the story takes it. If they can win. But I would see him would win because he's had his downfalls this year.
Yeah, he's had a lot of
disappointments. And Devin's got one.
Okay,
it's already confirmed.
It's already confirmed.
It's already confirmed. Brock versus John Cena.
Right, for WrestlePalooza. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Devin, for that, because, like I said, that was one of my predictions today. And then my other one, and which I said was probably going to happen, was this mixed tag team. And I told everybody AJ Lee was coming in. All right. That's why I'm Ralph Williams. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm Ralph Williams. All right. That's why, I make my predictions and they come the way I make them. I can sit there and look at the storyline before it even happens and know what's going on. So, all right, Pensman, go ahead. Your thoughts on these two matches.
Like I said, I thought CM Punk and AJ Lee, they're gonna beat Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Now AJ Lee can skip and pick dandelions all through the arena and how she skips through the fields and all kinds of crap. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Brock Lesnar and John Cena, I hope John Cena takes it to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar needs to be put in his place once and for all. He doesn't show up. I thought it was a joke at first, but I've been seeing it year after year that Brock Lesnar shows up when he wants to show up. He doesn't show up week in and week out. So Brock Lesnar, your time's coming. I hope John Cena puts you into place. What he did last night was uncalled for. I wanted to see that Sami Zayn and John Cena fight. Want to see how that turned out. But Brock Lesnar had to put his 2 cents in, and F5 both of them. So
yeah, there you go.
It is what it is. So I was hoping that.
Don't you just love it when
Brock it's always one time.
It's always something weird about it. Like, here we go again. Here comes Brock. We always have that mindset is when is he going to show up?
Hey, Ralph, I got a question for you. Will John Cena retire as a Grand Slam champion?
Yeah, I believe he will. He's going to retire as a Grand Slam champion, possibly. I believe he is as of right now. He's been a tag team. He's won every belt almost. I believe he has.
I don't know.
I'm not real sure.
I don't know if he was or not, but
yeah, he is a Grand Slam champion. So. But, I believe he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I believe probably in the next year or two, he'll be in a Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame. Okay. And I believe that's going to be the situation.
He wanted to go to the show, but was sold out.
Oh, okay. Okay, what do we got here? Who's at the bottom here? Pensman, who's this here? What is this?
That's Devin.
That's Devin.
Oh, no, this one here's Devin too? Below?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh, that's
all right.
almost human. That's human. Almost
that's
human.
human.
Good. Okay. I couldn't see. I'm sorry about that. I
No,
could
you're good.
briefly see who it was, but I had to, you know. Anyway, the Clash of Paris, I thought it was a pretty good card. I knew, and I'm frustrated with Adam Pierce. I'm very frustrated with Adam Pierce, and let me say why.
Oh, Lesnar
What?
shows
What's
up
wrong?
when Sable says it's okay.
When who? Cena. Yeah.
When Sable says it's okay.
Oh yeah, Sable. Yeah, yeah. I don't even know if are they still together. I don't even know.
I have no idea.
I
Don't
heard
ask me.
Sable's working in one of his meat markets. That's what I heard. So
I don't know. But
Well,
that's what,
his
that's what
family
Almost
does.
Human
Seriously,
says.
his family got a whole heap of meat markets up in Canada, where he's
Gee.
from. So they have a butcher business. His family's butchers by trade. So I'm sure Sable's working in the meat market. They're cutting meat. So.
But Adam
I'd
Pierce
say
needs to
something
get
else, but I'm
fired
not
from
gonna
what
say it.
he's handling.
Exactly,
everything.
Pensman. Thank you. I'm glad someone agrees with me that Adam Pierce should be fired. All right. What happened to Roman Reigns was unacceptable. But I will say this, and I said this on Wrestle Talk on Tuesday: Roman Reigns did it to himself, and let me tell you why. He should have took his shoes and got out of Dodge. What did he do? He decided to go step up onto the announce table and sign shoes and try to throw them into the fans. Look, Roman, you got two behemoths that are hungry, running all over the place because they don't have their boy Paul Heyman there anymore after you put him on the shelf in the hospital. Okay, Roman, I get that. All right. But what you should have done was picked up your shoes and got out of Dodge, just like everybody else that beats these guys, that they're overmatched and they get out of Dodge. No, you had to go and show off and sign shoes and try to throw shoes into the fans, and he got speared by Braun Breaker. None of that would have happened, Roman, if you would have picked up the shoes and got out of Dodge. You could have gave them out to fans back in concessions or something. You understand what I'm getting at? Instead, you decided to do this. And how many times, guys, have I said about people showboating and it cost them a match, or showboating and they got hurt, and showboating? That was a prime example right there of what I've been saying about that. Go ahead, Brian.
Right. Also, you got to think about this too. Do you think that this storyline with Roman Reigns? Do you think maybe in the next 2 years that they're thinking about cutting him off, period, and making him story different, and then he can retire? Do you think in 2 years he's going to retire, or do you think that because he does have the rib injury, and stuff like that?
No, he has rib injuries right now, but there are other rumors circulating. Now, I read something today, and I sent you guys the report. On that one report that I sent you that said that this hospital thing was staged because he has to move on to go do movies. He's got movie contracts because his cousin The Rock got him into some movies. Okay, which is why he's only been part-time. Okay, now I'm hearing stories he's coming back with a Shield. We've talked about that already. It's going to be CM Punk, it's going to be Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar to go after Paul Heyman and his goons. Okay, that's the story. I've heard that story. I've heard him starting up another bloodline, and Rikishi's going to manage it. I've heard all these stories. We've heard all these rumors, and then this happens. And if this is staged, like that report says, and I don't believe that it is staged. Okay, I don't think this was a staged hospitalization. They say Roman Reigns is out of hospital already, and he's on his way to go do movies. That was all staged. Okay,
with
that was not real. I'm sorry, Pensman.
He was talking about something
with bandages.
Oh.
Yeah, with bandages.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is if it is staged, then you know what? Shame on the
Duct
WWE. Shame on you for doing it this way. All right. That pay-per-view, the Cena Logan Paul match, great match. And you know what? I hate Logan Paul. I can't stand that guy. All right. I can't deal with him. But let me tell you what, I will give Logan Paul credit where it's due. He put up a good fight in that match. He actually broke a sweat. Okay, and Cena made him break a sweat. Okay, and that's the first time
he
I've
didn't
actually
show up
seen
last
Logan
night.
Paul really wrestle. Well, good. I don't want him around anyway. Who cares about Logan
Right.
Paul?
He's probably
Right.
still crying.
Yeah. Let him. Well, he was so angry about losing that match. I don't know if I sent you guys that video or not. Did you see the video that was on social media of him and his wife having an argument because I think she said something about the match or something, and he got mad. He slammed the limousine door. He was up in New York for something, and so yeah, we'll see what happens to his brother when he gets his block knocked off by Tank Davis. So I can't stand Logan Paul. I don't even want to talk about him. He's a disgrace. I don't even want to deal with him. So anyway, I thought Clash of Paris was a good pay-per-view. I thought it was interesting to see some of the matches that we saw. Dominic Mysterio came up with this plan with El Grande Americano who is Ludwig Kaiser, and the other one that comes out of the audience is Pete Dunne. So I just want to let everyone know that's who these guys are. All right, because Chad Gable cannot play the role because he's hurt. So, and he's not cleared to wrestle. So there you are with that. But Dom pulls out that match against AJ Styles. And we'll start with you, Pensman. What'd you think of the card as a whole? You there, Pensman? Hello.
What? I couldn't hear anything.
I said, how did you like the card as a whole? The card as a whole, Clash of Paris.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought the card was actually phenomenal. I thought it was pretty good. I'm just waiting for the next one now. So I thought the Fatal 4-Way could have been better. I was hoping that Seth Rollins would lose it, but you know how he has, like Brian said, he has tricks up his sleeves. So I didn't think Becky Lynch was going to come in and save his butt, but she did on Clash of Champions or the Clash of Paris. So I was hoping that we'll have a new champion, but of course Seth Rollins has got to be Seth Rollins. So that's the only thing I had downfall because Jey Uso had him.
Oh yeah.
Did a Samoa Slam.
Oh yeah, and Jay was hurt before the match because he was helping Roman, and of course Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and I love the LA Knights comments that I'm calling them. What do you call them? Wide-eyed sidewinders or something or whatever. He says you two loonies or whatever.
Yeah, I forget. I know what you're talking about.
I love LA Knight, and I love his mic skills, and that's why I'm Ralph Williams. See,
there you
go. But go ahead, Brian. Your thoughts. I know you didn't watch the.
Yeah, what y'all saying? The card must have been like fun, but I just hope LA Knight win or not. CM Punk will win. At some point. Because he's had.
Yeah, he's had some hard luck since he's come back to wrestling. When he was in AEW, he got screwed over by Tony Khan. They decided to go with MJF, and he got screwed over. In AEW and all that stuff. I don't know what happened there. I heard he was a locker room cancer. I don't know if that's true. Also, let's talk a little bit about the rumor has it Chris Jericho's coming. The contract's being the final details of his contract is being worked out. He's coming back to the WWE. Is this his final hurrah? I believe it is. He has too much commitments to Fosse, his rock band, and I believe that he's starting to wear down. He's in his 50s, and he's his early 50s. I hear his body's starting to wear down, but I think he wants to come back one last run in the WWE. I've mentioned many times the Hardys, I'm told, are going to come back and do one last dance championship before they go into the Hall of Fame or whatever they're going to do. Your thoughts, guys. Let's start with you, Brian. Chris Jericho, do you think he stays or go, or do you think he'll stay in wrestling for a little longer? Or do you think WWE's his last hurrah?
I think this is it for him. He's done enough. I mean, he's going to be a Hall of Famer no matter what. He's on the downtrend. They don't put him out there, but I just think that maybe this year, next year, maybe 2 years down the road, maybe But yeah, I don't see nothing that he deserves. Maybe a title shot just to end it, but I don't see him going too much longer.
All right, Pensman, real quick, we're going to wrap things up here shortly, right after this. Go ahead, Pensman.
I think Chris. You remember Sting back in the AEW days when he mentored
Yes.
Darby Allin and tried to get him better. I think that's what's going to happen with Chris Jericho. He's going to go to a young person and then try to get that person better. Don't know who it is, but I think that's why I think Chris Jericho is going to be a coach and a mentor to somebody.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, thank you, Devin, for your comments. Thank you, Almost Human. Thank you, everyone, for your comments today. And thank you for watching the show. We went a little over today because we had a lot to talk about. So we're going to try to condense this down as far as we can. But we had a lot to talk about, and I didn't want to stop ranting about Steeler fans and stuff like that. So hate me if you want to. I don't care. Pensman, go ahead. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you and what you have going on.
You can find me on YouTube at Pensman Sports. I am at 888, almost at 900. I'm only 12 away. So if you could highly subscribe to my channel, doing the making tonight, and then you can find me on X on Pensman Sports and Twitch, Pensman Sports 07. Go over there. I'm only at 3 followers. Please help the Twitch grow. I want to grow on Twitch as well.
All right, Brian Pettit, go ahead.
You can find me on Tiger Stripes Media on X and YouTube, and you can subscribe to both of those. I only have 77 followers on YouTube. Like to get to 100 before the end of the year. So yeah, and also go prescribe to Devin and the Sports Nuts. So
yes, thank you, Sports Nuts, for being part of the show today. And I want to thank the Sports Nuts for having me on Tuesday. I had a really good time on the show, and let's do it again sometime. Okay, so all right, I have a couple programming notes here for next week. Okay, first of all, later on this afternoon, don't forget 2:00, 12:50 a.m. The Answer 92.5 on the FM dial in Western Pennsylvania, and on 12:50 The Answer PGH.com. If you're listening like down here in Ocean City or whatever. The Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim, will not be joining us for the show today. He is traveling. So it will be myself, Luther Dupree, and Claudia Rosano. We're going to break down the Steelers-Jets game and a whole lot more. So tune into that later on this afternoon. Okay, now, Tuesday, programming note. Okay, Sports Corner show. It's always myself and Smoking Jim Frazier. Smoking Jim will not be joining me on Tuesday because he's still traveling. So, therefore, Pensman is going to be on the show with me. We're going to start at 8:00 on Tuesday. And the reason for that is because I have my wife has some prior medical obligations on Tuesday, and we have to take care of that. And so we will be on at 8:00, and then immediately following at 9:00, we will have Wrestle Talk. All right, Pensman will be joining me. Brian, you're welcome to come on if you'd like to as well. But Pensman and I are going to break down the Steeler game, and we're also going to talk about Pitt and a whole in college and Pirates baseball maybe, and who knows. We'll talk about something on Tuesday. I'll have something for you, Pensman, for Tuesday. So, but some notes just to let everyone know. Brian, you're welcome to come on the show if you'd like. I'm working on getting a couple other folks on as well for Tuesday evening. 8:00 start time for the Sports Corner show, 9:00 Wrestle Talk. And we got a lot to talk about. We'll break down Monday Night Raw, get you ready for the WrestlePalooza, which is coming up on September 20th in Indianapolis. It'll be live on ESPN. So I just want to let everyone know that as well. And also, ESPN Plus, you have to subscribe to them. I'm told that the WWE is using other media platforms. They're still going to they still have a contract with Peacock, USA, and the Netflix, and they also have a contract now with ESPN. So there's going to be some movement in some of these shows of WWE. So you better be careful and watch your local listings and stuff like that. All right. So take care of that as well. You can reach me on Ralph Williams RW Media on YouTube, on Facebook. Also, I'm on Twitch, Twitter, X, and LinkedIn. I'm also on Blue Sky. Looking to get some more followers on LinkedIn and Blue Sky. And please don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I'm trying to get to 400. I was getting close. I was up to 381, and then all of a sudden I went down 7 in one day. And it fluctuates, but I need to get some consistency here. Get me to 400 by the end of the year. So please help me out with that on Twitter X. You can follow me and the rest of the guys here. We had a very good audience today, and a lot of viewers today. I want to thank everybody for being part of the program on on Pensman's, on Tiger Stripes Network, on RW Media Productions, and on the Huddle Sports Network for also letting us put this on here as well. For Pensman Sports, Brian Pettit, Tiger Stripes Media, I am Ralph Williams. I want to thank you. Please join us again next Saturday here at 10 o'clock. And don't forget, September 20th, there will be no Saturday sports show because I'm traveling to Pittsburgh. And but the 26th, we will be back in fold. And then starting in October, we're going to do a new show. It's going to be called Saturday College Football Preview, where we're going to go over all the college football teams and go over all their games and everything else. And then we're going to blend in the NFL a little bit as well. But we're going to change some things around here a little bit in the show. And then we'll talk wrestling at times, depending on what the topics are and everything else. All right. So just put that in your wheelhouse, everybody there. All right. So have yourself a great day. Please be safe. And we'll talk to you next week. Thank you.